already live. Just move slow.
Mejor de ese lado porque
Is there audio up?
Field audio.
What about it?
sponsor reads off the top, if that works. Time now for the boys' U16 championship at the Tualatin Hills Rec Center. It's United PDX and Capital Football Club for the U16 State Cup Final, the Oregon Youth Soccer Association. Happy to have you along with us, our crew here from Oregon Sports Beat, bringing you the coverage, and the rain has subsided. It's drying up. It was pouring down rain at the end of our U17 championship and a bit in between these games, so turf's still wet, but no active rain coming down. We're pleased to be able to bring you these broadcasts thanks to our sponsors. Thank you to Skyhawk Sports Oregon, the nation's leading provider of youth sports programs for ages 4 to 14 years. Visit them at skyhawks.com. And a thank you to Bazooka Goals, a high-end sports brand supplying the retail market on an international basis. Visit them at bazookagoal.com. And a thank you to Sports Pins International, designing top-quality award products since 1980. Visit them at sportspins.com. And a special thank you to the Soccer Parenting Association, inspiring players by empowering parents. Visit them at soccerparenting.com. And thank you to Tercey Soccer, Portland's original soccer store. Visit them at terceysoccer.com. That's Tercey's Soccer Store. And thank you to VIO, making sports technology accessible to all. You can visit them online at vio.com. That's VEO.com. Chris, Clayton and Tony Vandermeer here with you at Tualatin Hills Rec Center as we have the boys' U16 championship matchup between United PDX and Capital Football Club. A little bit of a different matchup here in terms of familiarity. The last game we did, the U17 title, they had played twice already through the season, so their familiarity was there. But Tony, these two teams have not played each other this year, so it should make for an interesting matchup.
It will be interesting. Both squads have been put together for a couple of years. The players will know each other fairly well, but if they're probably going to have to recall from previous years if they ever did play together previously. But I'm excited to see which team is feeling most confident about themselves to start off. The team from United PDX, they finished 4th place in league play, and they got on a good run to get here to this final match. And CFC, even though I don't know as much about them, they also have had to play well to get to this spot today.
Yeah, these two teams battling through the bracket here to get here, starting with the quarterfinals. Last week, United PDX, their road is as follows. They started off with a bang with a 9-0 win over Eugene Metro FC. Turned around with a 4-1 win over Westside Metro's U16. And on the other side for Capital Football Club, they came out with a 3-0 win over EST. And won on PKs and a dramatic win over ADF Portland to bring us to this championship matchup here between United PDX and Capital Football Club.
Chris, I do know Capital Football Club is based out of Salem. It's been a long-standing club with a lot of success over the years. And so their roster, it is interesting that they pull from all over the Mid-Willamette Valley area for this squad right here, while the PDX United, they're predominantly from the west side here in the metro area.
And both teams trying to establish themselves here early on in this one, as we have the first touch just after 5 p.m., our 4th of 4 games here today in this championship final day at Tualatin Hills Rec Center. Sprinting down the right side, a shot attempt is saved. This Capital Football Club in white United PDX in red here in this matchup. That last shot coming off the foot of Rylan Richter there.
As the teams start feeling themselves out and trying to establish their rhythm, it is going to be interesting to see how United PDX, having scored those 14 goals in the quarters and semis combined, how aggressive they are in terms of just trying to impose their will upon Capital City.
Trying to work it into the final third here. So actually, correction, of course, it is Capital Football Club in white here. Capital Football Club is in red. United is in white. So this is the last shot. The only shot of the game so far is Fernando Zepeda for Capital Football Club. So now, trying to get something going again. That was Diego Sepulveda. But a whistle and a foul, and possession goes back to United PDX. Mamadou Danso, the head coach for United PDX, former player for the Timbers. Leading the charge, assistant is Matt Broadhead. Tim Kagi is the head coach for Capital Football Club. He's an assistant coach for Western Oregon University. Benzie Orozco, the assistant coach here for Capital.
It is fun to see as the sport continues to become so deeply ingrained in Oregon culture here, to see the ex-Timbers that are after they retire, they settle into the community and give back by coaching these top kids. Westside Metro team that did so well last game in the U17 final. One of the original Timbers, John Bain, is one of those legendary coaches that has been putting teams out for Westside Metro for decades. And so this newest iteration of the Timbers, having those players settle in and coaching here locally, is just a great addition.
So possession going back with United PDX once again, trying to work it over the halfway line. Juke move cutting back to the right side. That's Adrian Vitican, who put on a series of moves there. Now the ball towards the middle. This is Gasperson in traffic. Now down Regaldo Chavez with a high ball over the head of everybody, but it's still in play. United able to keep it in. All the way down to the near side to Regaldo Chavez again. Working on the defensive Cepeda. Plays it back to Sam Leedy. Leedy trying to get it to the middle, knocked away. All the way forward to Reese Christensen. Christensen with a chance, a big time finisher, knocks it in off the side of the net.
Yeah, United PDX defenders, they overplayed the ball and let it get behind them, but they did well riding Reese off the ball and pulling him wide to where he couldn't get a good strike on frame.
So a couple of decent opportunities early on for CFC. This is again a team that hasn't quite scored in this tournament at the level that United has. As you mentioned, 13 goals through the first couple games in this bracket. Here goes United now on the move. Going to build up. Crosses in, driving along, and it's knocked away. It was the cross by Dominic Lemuse.
The game's trying to find its rhythm, seems, Chris, and while it's happening, it seemed to be playing some direct balls, both teams. But I'm struck with the technical ability and speed of the players on both squads. But some of the possession early on for PDX United is really impressive. The way their first touch on the ball and very comfortable under pressure with the ball on their feet.
Possession staying with United. That's Gasperson with it on the right side. Gasperson trying to cut through. He's in the 18, right side. His shot kicked away. And a nice save. Stepping up big time there, the keeper for Capital City.
That's a great kick save. I feel like we're watching some NHL playoffs this afternoon with some of those great reaction saves by the goalkeepers. But again, that was really nice run on the ball and taking people on at speed.
United gets it right back. Now here goes CFC the other way. Contact there, whistle drawn, and a foul. Sent down to the turf. It was the running Avery Boyer. Boyer from Corvallis. Coaching staff for Capital City mentioning he's got a high work rate. He's able to draw a whistle and a dangerous free kick opportunity here for Capital FC. Into the box, they're trying to get Christensen set up there for something, but well defended, holding him off. Grayson Lamb is the starting goalie for United, and he might have challenge here. And here goes United. Hudson Gasperson playing it forward, trying to get it off on the right side to Lemuse, but it is an offside.
Lemuse, he's trying to hold his run rather than bend a run to keep himself onside. He just tried to time that and mistimed it just by a bit. CFC's back line trying to hold that high line and work together as a group to make that run tough for him.
About 10 minutes into this second half here. Played down at the sideline, ticked forward, and nothing there. It's shut off defensively. Time is Edwin Miranda Sanchez playing the defense. There's a whistle and a foul. And a free kick opportunity.
I'm gonna go grab more blankets to sit on. I didn't realize you would be sitting on
Gonna be
right there.
Quello De Heza who will take this free kick, lobs it into the box, high in the air, and miss time on the jump, and track down.
Let's go, Reese!
Christian Orozco is the keeper for Capital City, and he made a terrific kick save earlier. Orozco, his son is of the assistant coach Benny Orozco. Doing a nice job as goalie. Gonna have his fair share of challenges today against this United team that can really create scoring chances for themselves. 13 goals in this tournament. The flag stays down. Here's a chance for Gasperson, and it is just wide. Woo. Orozco coming up big time again for Capital Football Club.
Yeah, that time United PDX did beat the offside trap and played in well, but Orozco came off his line, made himself big, and came up big.
Twice now, Orozco stepping up and keeping United out of the back of the net. That time he got a piece of it, then it ricocheted off Gasperson and then sailed wide. Gasperson, a terrific attacker for this United team at a Jesuit high school.
Go Reese!
Going high in the air, direct over the top, trying to get Christensen going. Christensen got a piece of it. Looking towards the middle. Christensen shot, finds the net. Reese Christensen gets Capital FC on the board.
Yeah, he took that cleanly. Again, maybe the defender on United PDX overplayed that and the ball got bounced over his head. But that was a great finish. No chance for the goalkeeper on that shot.
Yeah, the keeper, Grayson Lamb, thrust into a tough position there. Christensen able to find the angle and thread it in. Get another goal.
It's a pretty energetic start to this game, Chris, and I have a feeling there's going to be a few more goals here this afternoon before this one's over.
Yeah, I agree. This one's getting the feeling that we're going to see some back and forth between these squads. And you brought it up earlier, the ability with the ball at the feet of these players has been so impressive. Both teams creating quality chances for themselves. Gasperson on the left side, looking to cross it in with his left foot. And nobody there. Goes to Coelho de Heza, actually all the way over the sideline. Throw in for Capital FC. Both teams haven't played this year, trying to feel each other out, but while doing so, creating some quality scoring chances each way. Both goalies have been challenged throughout this game thus far. Just nice little poke forward off the foot of Zepeda. He kind of started this game off getting a pretty decent shot opportunity on the right side of the box, and he's battling for it now. Zepeda goes off to Staffland. Staffland trying to drop it back. United applying some pressure. It gets to the feet of Leedy. Capital again, working forward. This is Boyer. There's a whistle and a foul, and a dangerous area for a free kick now for Capital FC.
Both sides have got players that are interested in running with the ball at their feet and trying to break defensive shape by just simply running with the ball out of midfield, breaking lines all on their own. And for me, that's fun soccer to watch, and put a lot of pressure on PDX. And they got a chance right on top of the D for another good strike on frame.
Yeah, this has been a really fun game so far. This is Roman Staffland, set to take this free kick. Already a 1-0 lead for Capital Football Club. Staffland strikes, and that's high. Looking to find the top corner there. Get goal number 2 for Capital, but off the mark.
Yeah, that was always going high. Struck not particularly well.
There.
I'm enjoying the fact, though, that CFC sent the right fullback to go up to take that shot. You're not going to see that, that too often. So they must have confidence in the strike. I bet you if they get another chance, he'll be up there again.
The reason they brought him forward to take that one. Long ball forward, a really good one. And it reaches Rosales Samperio. Rosales Samperio looking for some space, but United able to take it away. Straddling the sideline, and it did go over the line, and it'll be a throw-in for Capital.
So Capital FC is having some success by just simply playing fairly direct and putting pressure on United's back four with those long balls. So my hunch is they're not gonna alter that approach as long as they continue to have some dangerous spots coming out of that.
And Capital certainly finally finding success with that, but United has created a few chances. Gasperson has been very active today. Got a couple great shot opportunities. Remember, the two terrific saves that have been made so far by Christian Orozco to keep United off the board. Otherwise, it could be a 1-1 game. Instead, it's 1-0 in favor of Capital so far. Rigaldo Chavez. Now they're working it down the sideline from Ortman up to Gasperson again. And it went out of play. Now throwing again for Capital. But it goes right back to United. A whistle, and a foul against Capital.
Seems like there's a real nice battle in the midfield with Ortman and Beaverton on United PDX. Being kind of the engine, I think, that United is trying to play through. But they're continually getting great pressure from CFC, and so it's going to be fun to watch that battle as this game gets, as we go deeper into this game.
I know. You really are. So it may have probably that much. You know when you just keep having the slips, so it doesn't seem like you're eating much, and all of a sudden I'm like, dang, this is bad.
Over on the right side. Beaverton trying to spin in. Some contact there just outside the box. No whistle. It goes over the line in a corner. Actually, no, a goal kick given to Capital. It's Reese Christensen with the goal so far in this game for Capital FC. We're about 20 minutes into this one. Christensen knocking it forward. He was trying to set up Sepulveda, but knocked back and defended well by Cruz Mogul. Now here's Cepeda.
Solid 1v1 defending there. Cepeda real comfortable on the ball and keeping it while he's under pressure, and had the ball toe poked away. It's that battle I was talking about. The CFC central midfielder Jonathan Garcia and Abraham Lopez Ramirez. Those two have been standing firm against the two from United PDX. Excuse me. So that 2v2 battle right in the middle of the park is going to be a fun one to watch here the rest of the day.
Lamb will take the kick. Keeper from Tualatin High School. Plays it forward over the halfway line. Rolling over the top, headed down. Gasperson able to play it back for Beaverton. Now Leedy with the ball forward. Well defended though, off the head of Staffland. Lamou's going out back to Beaverton. Beaverton trying to create some space.
Hey, bueno, Rosales.
No,
And a nice play defensively by Rosales.
Mama thinks you let one of I don't know. I think someone's
And Capital FC able to clear it away. Leedy has it at his feet, drops it all the way back to the keeper, Lamb. Right at the halfway point of this first half. It's a 1-0 lead for Capital FC. They played a direct ball over the top to Reese Christensen. He was able to get behind the back line and was one-on-one with the keeper. Went far post with it. Found the back of the net. Gasperson on the left side for United.
Yes,
Looking for the
Edward.
cross, well defended, and a corner kick for United. The defense of Edwin Miranda Sanchez there.
I like those pants though. Style with those gamuts. Or guts out there. That was big stride.
And a corner kick to be taken by Trey Ortman. Ortman sends it in with his left foot, high in the air, a battle for it, loose on the turf. About 24 minutes into this half.
Thank you.
There's Leedy trying to turn. Sorry, Tony.
That's okay. We were talking earlier today about this the whole kind of festive atmosphere and how it's been a great day for soccer. Looking forward to visiting with the OYSA Executive Director Simon Date, who just kind of blessed us here with a little bit of snacks.
That's right. We'll be talking with him at halftime between these games about this event and just the program as a whole. It'll be interesting to hear his thoughts and what has been a terrific long day of soccer. The weather hasn't cooperated perfectly as to what everybody would like, but the games on the pitch have been so good. There's a cross in, headed away by Christensen. Now to the feet of Beaverton. Beaverton jutting off to the left. Working it down, and it's saved by Orozco. It came off the foot of Coelho de Heza.
So we've seen Orozco with a kick save and coming off his line to make another big save. But here in the last few moments, he's had two balls coming into his box where he was big. He looks slight from here, but he's dominating the box and taking the ball out of there with solid takes. Makes the rest of his squad feel real comfortable. If they don't quite get pressure on the ball, they know if it comes into the box, having him back there makes people feel good.
That's really cool, right?
Well done, Roman.
Cleared away over the sideline. Yeah, it's got to give the kind of a breath of fresh air, some confidence to an entire defense when they can trust that even if they do make a mistake, Orozco can step up back there and make a big save. Both these teams have that. Grayson Lamb, a terrific keeper on the other side with United as well. But so far it has really been Orozco who's been phenomenal with 4 big-time saves.
Earlier in the game when PDX gave up a free kick in a dangerous area, their keeper Lamb, he was getting them sorted out and showing some great leadership in terms of getting his guys to focus up and get their wall set as opposed to visiting with the referee for too long. He did well at that point.
Capitals had their fair share of attacking opportunities as well. They really cashed in on a big one on a long ball over the top to Christensen. About 18 minutes to go here in this second half. There's Christensen trying to tick it back. Nobody there on the receiving end in possession back to United. Mogul down for Rigaldo Chavez. Back to Mogul again. Lamb trying to drive it forward, but it's off the foot of Zepeda. Well done by Zepeda. He's got it again. Now to Garcia. Rosales goes back to Garcia. Fires it into the box. Just over the head of Christensen. Well defended, and here goes United. It was Mogul defensively. Heading it back down. Creating a little counter chance here for United. Lamuse going back to Vidican. This is Sam Leedy reversing pitch all the way up to the right side. Gasperson again. Well done by Garcia defensively. The physical play, and he gets a throw in for Capital. Christensen, defenders converging around him, and he's tagged with a foul, that being Christensen. Nice job by Vidican to come away with it, draw the contact.
Yeah, solid 1v1 play on Vidican's part. I'm appreciating noting that United PDX playing with the single pivot. It allows Vidican to get forward and put a little bit more pressure in the back third of CFC. It does also open him up a bit to the counterattack.
Seal goes up to Gasperson. Now back to Seal. This is Liam Seal, and it's Garcia again defensively, harassing. As we head into the final third of this first half. Flags up and an offside there against United. It's the U16 championship game here between United PDX and Capital FC. Just had the U17 title and went Oregon Premier's way. After OPFC coming up short the last couple years, they get the U17 title under their belt. All the way to Christensen. And that one just bleeds over the sideline. A nice play by Christensen to get a deep throw in here for Capital FC.
There's an example where CFC played through the lines and kept the ball on the floor and did well. And they're looking for reset in the right time in the right spaces. So that balances out. Sometimes playing that quick over the top ball makes them a little bit more challenging to defend.
Stafflin lobs it in. Back to Zepeda, but taken away by United. Well done there by Miranda Sanchez to give Capital a chance there for a moment. United away with it again. Grayson Lamb, the keeper, surveys. Vidican goes all the way up to the right side. And the pressure pays off. sneak it in there. That was Rosales. There's a whistle, and ball was out of play. Throw in for United. And a sub in now for Capital FC. It'll be Alessandro Perez to check in. He'll replace Fernando Zepeda. And United again, once they get to that final third, they've been a little bit disjointed, especially really the last 8 minutes or so. Uh-oh, here's a dangerous ball. Orozco having to run all the way out to send that one away. Xavi Sandino-Taylor was in the area, nearly coming up with a ill-advised pass for what could have been a free goal.
Yeah, as Christian kind of bailed them out again, but it does speak to their comfort with the ball at their feet. Both teams, to be honest, have been real good in terms of playing with pressure coming upon them, but still just keeping the ball on their feet and trusting their technique.
Ball loose in the box for a moment. It was near Leedy, headed right back in. Popped up, Orozco's there to collect it again. Leedy plays it back to Rigaldo Chavez. Nice move, getting free. Now Vidican trying to play it forward, but the defense of Miranda Sanchez stepping up. Now Rigaldo Chavez looking for the shot, off target. Came off the foot of Coelho de Heza.
So CFC, as they've, it does feel like maybe the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, maybe 25 minutes, just by design, play over the top, go win a second ball, and settle into the game. Now, as I see them trying to play out of the back, they got some real patterns that they're playing to get the ball through the midfield and into forwards' feet. The forwards are coming and checking back and trying to keep possession. So it's nice to see how their attacks evolved through this first half.
So a lot of game left to be played here as we got about 10 minutes to go in this first half. Right now it's a 1-0 lead. Advantage to Capital FC. Boyer to Staffland. He lobs this one in the air, and Lamb is able to collect it. Try to give enough air under that ball to give a teammate a chance, but to no avail. Sepulveda just not quite able to get there in time. Sepulveda looking up to get it to Christensen. Lamb is there and sends it back the other way. Uh-oh, this one gets all the way up to Rosales. He's got a chance here, just wide by Christensen. Another nice attack, though, by Capital FC.
Yeah, that was a wonderful ball coming from the left side behind the last defender and letting Reese run onto it with his first touch. Very solid play.
Now a sub coming in, Jet Douglas onto the pitch for United. Ronaldo Chavez trying to get it down to Douglas, passes off target. Here goes Capital FC again. The winner of this game earns a berth to regionals. Of course, the State Cup Championship, a big honor, but you also get that bid into regionals, which is big time. That's played in Hawaii later on this summer. Big honor and opportunity for these players and teams. A lot on the line here in this game. Final of 4 games today. U19 championships, U17 and U16 today. We'll be talking with the OYSA Executive Director, Simon Date, coming up at halftime of this game. In about 15 minutes here on Oregon Sports Beat. Chris Clayton and Tony Vandermeer here with you from Tualatin Hills Rec Center. Finishing off the day. And what's shaping up to be a frenetic finish here. It's been a very competitive game. Capital FC was able to find the back of the net, but United PDX has had a lot of great chances. If not for Christian Orozco coming up with some big-time saves, we are certainly in at least a 1-1 game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a top player for me so far in this first half. And note also PDX, they're not playing out of the back as much as they did early in the game, and trying to win those second balls that come down off of playing kind of route one out of the back.
Coelho's ball handled again by Orozco. He lost it. Diving for it, comes up with it. An offside flag coming up. Couple subs coming in for United. Jose Farias and Louis Rummery. It's Gasperson heading to the bench, as well as Dominic Lemuse. Of course, for now, they're getting a well-deserved rest, a very active game for them so far. That ball goes right back over the sideline. Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in this first half. Throw in for Ayad Salih. It's it into Douglas. Douglas down for Coelho. All the way to Ronaldo Chavez. Working down towards the corner. His cross attempt is deflected down. Still battling. Ronaldo Chavez crosses in, knocked right back and out of play. And a corner for United.
Great pressure again, running with the ball at pace and putting CFC's back line under pressure. Just a moment ago, the referee indicated it's 2 minutes injury time, so this might be a time to change what the halftime speech is going to be for PDX. If they had a chance to tie it up off this corner kick.
Sent in by Douglas, headed away by Christensen. Still loose in the 18, get a clean clearance there all the way over the top to Christensen. And knocked back by Salih. Now to Leedy, pops it in the air. Important battle for the ball, and United able to win it. They'll get a throw in.
Yeah, both these teams with the coaches with great playing and coaching pedigree. It shows up with a quality of organization on the field for both these squads. Putting Reese on the front post on corner kicks. that ball's got to be driven way over the top or on the floor, because Reese is going to go ahead and clear those ones out all day.
Head coach for United, Mamadou Danso, former Timbers player. Tim Kagi is the head coach for Capital FC. Both coaches looking to make their speeches and their adjustments heading into what will be a intense and frenetic second half. And it is halftime. 1-0 is the score in favor of Capital Football Club. Out of Salem, Reese Christensen getting the goal from a beautiful long ball over the top. And he was able to finish and find the back of the net. There's a spot in the regional tournament on the line. And these teams battling to a 1-0 game so far in what has been a very competitive and entertaining game so far. And you hear the microphone getting prepared as we are going to be talking with the Oregon Youth Soccer Association Executive Director, Simon Date. Simon, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time.
No worries.
So it's been a great day, a long day of soccer. The weather maybe hasn't cooperated as much as everybody would like, but how do you think this event has gone here today?
It's been going great. Yeah, the weather we thought would be a factor this morning. We had some issues with some of the fields with water on them, but no, it's turned out great. It's been a great day.
How long has the preparation gone into this day?
Well, from a logistical standpoint, I would say probably the last 2-3 weeks we've been working with, obviously, THPRD to get the fields ready and the logistics around that part. But, this is something we prep for months, really, in terms of the competition and, the teams that we have in and their ability to move on from a communication standpoint, moving on to Hawaii and things like that. So, it's been good.
So Simon, thanks. I think we got the camera kind of angling in here so we get your good side. So Simon, I know you've been involved in the soccer scene in Oregon for decades, and I want to ask you a question a bit about coming on board as a new OYSA, semi-new OYSA executive director. But before we talk about that, what's your background, your time in Oregon as far as your soccer involvements?
Oh, I guess coming over from England as a young lad in 1993, I played at Oregon State. That's what brought me over, and lucky enough to play professionally a little bit after that. And then when the legs gave out eventually over the years, switched to coaching. And now, I find myself here talking to you guys, which is great.
So as executive director at OYSA, remind me, when did you come on board, and what's the things that you've tried to accomplish as you come on into the leadership? Yeah, so
I'm coming up on about a year now. I think June 1st was my first. I'm just shy of a year. We've just been trying to make some what I would consider common sense changes. You guys are well aware, so as well as the listeners and people watching, the landscape of soccer in Oregon or in the whole U.S. has changed, right? So we've adapted a little bit, but there are any number of alphabet soup leagues that you can now join in, and we've seen the landscape change more from a back when I first met Tony years and years ago, when it was just you'd have community clubs and that was it, and now these are big businesses, and that's not a negative. There are sides to it that we'd all love to get back to the good old days, right? But that's time's gone by, so we have to adapt as a state association and make sure that we're doing things the right way, in a competitive landscape.
So we had some communication recently about this being a big year for OYSA.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've got some exciting changes coming. We're working, as you can see out here, we're working a lot closer with our referee association. One of the forgotten parts about this game is the guys in the middle, the men and women with a whistle in their hand. So it's been we're working very closely with them to just do better. And that's not to say the referees that we have aren't at a level that we want them to be, but it's just the turnover for referees is a big deal. We're also involving some of our clubs in a little bit more decisions when it comes to the way we run and operate our leagues, in terms of for example, our Premier Gold season this next year will be a 20 game season, a home and away, where we have video interaction for you see the video cameras up on the fields now, so we give an opportunity for coaches to get better and to actually run relevant training sessions. We are going to be one of the few states starting this fall to mandate licensing for every single coach in our league, no matter what league you're in. And it can be a entry-level course that you took 15 years ago, on heading, to start with. And, we're just like, hey, show a commitment to coaching education so these kids get better, because we want kids to play longer, earlier, and stay longer. So there's some other changes.
Well done. So I also want to talk to you about the 50th anniversary of OYSA, but before we do that, I note that one of the sponsors for today's whole event is the Soccer Parenting Association. Yeah. So what's that all about?
So it's a lady, Sky Eddy, her name is. She's pretty well known online, but she runs Soccer Parenting. Soccer Parenting is a resource tool for clubs, parents, coaches, pretty much everybody involved in the game of soccer, just to take a look at how things are done, the reasons they're done for, and it kind of strips away the hype of soccer. So it's it's not all about going to all these big tournaments of what it means to be everything has got to be about a D1 scholarship down the line. It's just about, hey, this is how to talk to your kids after a game. And it's the important part is that soccer parenting part. It is obviously for parents, but it's not telling you necessarily how to parent, but more sort of giving you different ways to handle those conversations. Again, one-on-one with your kids, or how to handle tryouts, how that looks like. What is a realistic look at soccer statistically for your kids? So whatever you're being told at various levels, may or may not be helpful.
That's great to hear.
We love
for my part. So
they're awesome.
that's a great initiative. So applaud you for that. It seems like things are going well. You've spoken well about the referees and the parents.
Yeah.
Two pieces that are always trying to make healthier.
Trying to fix it.
Appreciate that. But 50th anniversary.
Yeah. I know, 50th anniversary, man. It's crazy. It's coming up. It's actually a two-parter. So Friday, September 6th, will be our very first Hall of Fame inductees. Well, we'll take a look at people who have contributed to the game in Oregon as a whole, and that'll be our first one. That'll be, like I said, the Friday night, and then the big event will be the 50th at the Nines Hotel. Pulling out all the stops. It'll be a great event. We're hoping to have pack the room for 500-600 people, just celebrating 50 years and the where we've come and hopefully where we're going for the next 50.
Amazing. Well, this day has been a success, and certainly your tenure so far has been a great success with the Oregon Youth Soccer Association.
Well, thank
and there's obviously big things ahead, so that's really exciting. We really appreciate your time, and thank you for letting us be here and cover this.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
That's Simon Date, the Executive Director of the OYSA, giving us the insight on what has been an incredible event, and somebody that, Tony, you've known for a really long time ago, way back.
Thanks, Simon.
So we appreciate his time and his insight on this event here, and we're just a few minutes now away from the second half. So this gives us an opportunity now. Let's actually talk about those sponsors. Let's roll through those here once again on Oregon Sports Beat, as we give a special thank you to Skyhawk Sports Oregon, the nation's leading provider of youth sports programs for ages 4 to 14 years. And a thank you to Bazooka Goals, a high-end sports brand supplying the retail market on an international basis. You can visit them online at bazookagoal.com. And a thank you to Sports Pins International, designing top-quality award products since 1980. Visit them at sportspins.com. And to the Soccer Parenting Association, inspiring players by empowering parents. Visit them at soccerparenting.com. Tercey's Soccer Store. Thank you to Tercey's Soccer, Portland's original soccer store. Visit them at terceysoccer.com. That's terceysoccer.com. And finally, thank you to VO, making sports technology accessible to all. Visit them at VO.com. That's VEO.com. We'll have a short break now as we're just a few minutes away from the second half. It's the U16 boys title between United PDX and Capital FC, and a score of 1-0 in favor of Capital Football Club at the moment here on Oregon Sports Beat. Teams are back out on the field, just about ready to go for half number 2. Got a 1-0 lead for Capital FC over United PDX. Chris Clayton and Tony Vandermeer here with you on Oregon Sports Beat. The lone goal in this game coming from Reese Christensen for Capital FC. But that being said, a lot of great scoring opportunities for United PDX. Christian Orozco, the keeper, has been a big force so far in this game for Capital.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said right after that goal, I'm going to be surprised if there aren't more goals today. The game did settle down a bit, but I'm looking forward to the second half and seeing more goals.
Just in our last game, it was a scoreless first half and then 3 goals in the second. So that's kind of when a lot of times the scoring can break open down the stretch. What are the adjustments you expect from these two teams, if anything?
Well, I think CFC's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves in terms of they got a little bit more comfortable on the balls, playing out of the back, and kind of withstand that first 10-minute flurry by PDX. Be more interested in seeing what kind of changes PDX is thinking about doing. They went away from trying to play through midfield and hitting some longer balls. See if they try to go back to playing to guys posting up or coming back for balls in the midfield as opposed to hitting those over the top.
Right now the ball just kind of ticking back and forth. And that one sails out of play. A throw in for United. It's Ayed Salih trying to work it forward, knocked back. Now Douglas all the way up to the far side to Rigaldo Chavez. Crosses in, it's headed back. Right-footed shot, and it's saved. Roscoe coming up again.
Well done, good clean play by a couple of the players there from PDX.
That was Suelo De Heza with the shot attempt there.
Keeping the ball on the floor a little bit more at the start of the second half.
The whistle and an offside.
CSC, for their part, defensively, they're doing a good job in terms of getting touch tied or getting into some 1v1 battles, and they do tackle really well. They seem to be slighter in terms of stature, but they shut the ball down well, and they get into tackle with low gravity impressively, which makes it even more challenging for PDX to kind of stroke the ball around like they're doing now.
Down to Douglas on the right side, crosses in, there's some contact there, and there's a free kick opportunity now. A penalty kick, huge for Suelo de Heza.
Yeah, a little bit of heartbreak for the defender there. I didn't quite catch his number. Just trying to step in, and yeah, no real arguments about it being a penalty, but he was just trying to shut the ball down, and full marks to the PDX attacker, who was running across him and got his feet tangled up, earned himself and his club a chance to tie this game.
Chance for the equalizer here. Christian Orozco, he's coming up with some spectacular saves in this game. A couple big kick saves in particular in the first half. His biggest challenge yet.
Wow,
Derek Suelo de Heza looking to equalize this game early in the second half. Here's the shot, and it's in. Suelo de Heza sneaks it in on the right side, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, well taken. Nowadays at the pro levels, you got the stagger struts and the hops. You just set up and stroke the ball hard, and even though Christian had a great jump on the ball, got his arm on it, it's just too hot to handle, and we're in a tie game.
How about that? United not able to break through in that first half. And they get into the box and draw the contact in the second. And just as you said, you expect a lot of goals in this game. Well, we already have one here early in the second. Physical defense there. United had it back for a moment. Leedy stepping in front. Nice ball forward. Suelo de Heza again, trying to work free all the way to Orozco, who snatches it up.
Well played from start to finish. Finding his teammate across the top of the box and running at the defender, and the defender running him off the ball. A solid organization and great game. Really enjoying seeing how these two squads are know what they're all about.
Lopez Ramirez, the nice tackle there defensively. Capital, or United I should say, applying some pressure. Capital able to break out of it. Taking it forward, trying to get Christensen free. There's a whistle and a foul, and it's against Christensen.
That's one of those situations or plays where it could have been obstruction on the defender, or what it was called, Reese running over his ankle, or pushing him from behind.
Deemed to be enough contact there for the referee to call something. Tagged it against Christensen.
But that's what the coach wants, is a forward that's going to make it very difficult or uncomfortable for the defenders. Put a lot of pressure on him, pressure on the official.
Nice ball forward. This is Salih on the right side. Back into traffic, right-footed shot deflected down by the back line. And the flag is up. Offside against United. Douglas. Trying to get it to Christensen. Christensen is a terrific, dangerous 9 for this Capital team. Speaking of dangerous, here's the ball in the box. Left-footed shot that sails wide off the foot of Sandino Taylor. It's a 1-all game here in the boys U16 championship. The OYSA State Cup Final. Down for Garcia. Bit of a heavy touch, and Leedy takes advantage for United.
It does look like at halftime, PDX coach asked one of his 2 attacking center midfielders to withdraw a little bit, kind of caught up that midfield. So CFC is having a tougher time playing through midfield. And at this point, PDX has been able to shut down any chance to try to play through the lines that CFC is trying to create. But then with Christensen up top, they always have that option to play quick and direct. So they'll be dangerous the rest of this game, while PDX is maybe going to possess more.
Whistle. And the foul that goes against United. You can feel the intensity, the physicality starting to ramp up here in the second half, as we usually see, especially in these close games. It's one that should come down to the wire here.
Yeah, good call, Chris, in terms of the intensity ramping up. But I also I got to remind, these are all 9th and 10th graders in high school. But the way that they're playing, not just physically, but tactically mature, this is really, again, an enjoyable game to be watching.
Well, you've been very involved in soccer in Oregon for a long time. How have you seen the skill level and players grow in this state over the years?
I think what I noticed, it seemed like early on the development of coaching was maybe going a little faster than playing. And to be honest, when the Timbers came back in 2011 and some of these clubs really started investing in their coaching infrastructure, it really has gotten a whole lot more improved in terms of, I'm not so sure the technical abilities have developed that much, but the general awareness of the game and how to play the sport is so much higher. And being able to relax right here, playing through midfield and keeping the ball down on the floor, those are big advancements over the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's a great point to point out, the maturity and impressive soccer we're seeing, and these are 9th and 10th graders. There's still a lot of room to grow and improve their careers. Some of the CFC fans wanted a handball there, but it's a play on. About 12 minutes into the second half. It's a 1-1 game.
So yeah, CFC fans aren't going to appreciate that call that the official just made, but this time of the game where it is getting a little bit more physical, I think that's a good move on his part. Trying to set the tone, settle kids down, and keep the football about football.
It's a good job by the referees knowing to kind of get out in front of it before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw into Leedy. And now it's CFC who draws the whistle, or at least with the whistle in their favor. They'll have a free kick from right at the halfway line. Uh-oh, mishandle there. It actually just goes straight over the sideline. And give him right back. Out of the disjointed play on the far side, eventually United has it. Saladihia down to Salih. Salih trying to sneak in across there, deflected away by Garcia. Salih goes for it again. Cleared towards Douglas. So Deheza back to Salih. A little give and go. Working right to left, series of moves. Suella Deheza launches, and Suella Deheza's shot is over the top. It was the initial move by Rumry trying to free himself up. He played it back behind him.
One of the things I'm, again, appreciating about this game, Chris, is the way that they're running with the ball at their feet in tight spaces. Going back to your question about how soccer has developed over the years, I think more recently, the last 5 years, you're seeing coaches letting the kids play and letting them have the ball at their feet. And I think probably a lot of us were guilty of over-coaching and worrying about our systems and getting the ball wide, fairly predictable. Not as much this half, but first half, seeing players run with the ball and breaking space down by just running with the ball. You didn't see that a whole lot back in the days, and it makes the game a whole lot funner to watch.
Galdo Sanchez, nice move, plays it in. Here's Douglas with a chance, miss hit. Still in possession though. Back on the right side, Rumry crosses in. Suella spins. Look at the moves. So crafty. Crosses in. Oh, just a bit high over the top of Farias. And there's a whistle and a foul against CFC. United with a free kick opportunity here. In a 1-1 game.
Yeah, it's nice work a bit ago to make the play or make the space so he can get the ball across. That's a little bit too tall. But since he's going over the other side for this restart, he gets another chance to deliver a ball. A little lower, a little more dangerous in the box. Look to see him drive the ball.
Sub coming in for CFC, that's Zepeda. Suelo Deheza plays in the free kick, bending towards net. Orozco handles it. Still a 1-1 game. A whistle, and that's a foul against United. So Sepulveda to take the free kick out of North Salem High School. Actually, that's Staffland, I should say. Headed away by Leedy. United launches it back down the other way. Well done defensively. It's Miranda Sanchez now battling with Sandino Taylor. Lofted all the way down the other way and over the inline for a Orozco goal kick.
Bit of lull in play. I think game just asking for somebody to maybe take charge, be a hero, and be a difference maker.
Yeah, had a bit more flow and action for most of that first half. The last maybe 4 minutes or so, we've kind of hit a lull for both teams, not able to really break through and find anything. And the fouls are starting to ramp up as well. Not poking at the officials. They have been fouls, but both teams' physicality ramping up. And we see another one. Fouls have played a big part in this second half. It was a penalty kick that got the goal for United.
Hey, let's get back, CFC.
Game's getting a little more challenging for our official in the middle. I saw him walking, reaching into his pocket for a card, but decided not to at this point. Won't be surprised if one does come out here, unless the game settles down.
Zuelo plays it into the box. Dangerous bounce, but it sails wide of the nets.
Great free kick.
Yeah, that was nice. Something for United. Got a piece of it, but not as much as they needed. And actually, it was Sandino Taylor who got a piece of it. Regaldo Sanchez battling to get it back for United. It's over the sideline, and it's still a possession throw-in for United.
It's interesting. The CFC does want to play out of the back, and they were able to get through the first line, but on a brilliant individual move by Sepulveda. But what I noticed is it seems like PDX, the press that they're putting on is they're letting them play to the outside backs and then pressuring the ball once they try to get it through either one of their holding midfielders. And then trying to win the ball in the dangerous spot for their quick counterattacks.
That ball just going over the sideline, and a throw-in opportunity here for United. Ayad Salih into Douglas. Here's Coelho. Lost his shoe, and the ball sails, goes over the inline.
I think it was a shin guard that popped out.
Oh, yes, a shin guard. I was going to say, it looks like he has his shoes on. His shin guard goes flying off on that attempt.
Yeah, he's had some good moments in the second half.
Yeah.
Fun player to watch.
Derek Coelho de Heza. He's got the goal on the penalty kick, and he's had some dynamic attacks in this second half as well, both passing to teammates and just creating with the ball at his feet. This is Eddie Rosales. Back to Orozco. Drives it towards the halfway line, but that's off target and out of play. A couple subs set to come in for United at next opportunity. Hudson Gasperson and Dominic Lemou's waiting for their opportunities to come in. And here comes Gasperson. And Lemou's coming in as well. It's Rumry and Farias who come out of the match for United. Battle on the sideline between Gasperson and Staffland, and it's possession going back to CFC. Right at the halfway point of this second half. In a 1-1 game, we're setting up for a really fun finish here in the boys U16 State Cup Final, the Oregon Youth Soccer Association. Salih on the right side, being defended by Garcia. Salih battling, whistle drawn, a foul against Salih.
Another great example of some solid 1v1 defending on Garcia's part.
For what it's worth, the overtime rules would be 2 15-minute periods, no golden goal. And then if it's still tied after the end of that, we go to PKs. Still a lot of soccer left to be played, though, to find the back of the net for one of these teams. CFC has not had the ball in possession in the final third very much in this half, especially the last 15 minutes. Forward for Christensen, he's trying to get there, but cleared away. Well defended there by Lucas Coles.
That was a great movement by CFC's part. And eventually they're trying to find Reese up top. And he continues when he gets a chance, putting pressure on their last defenders.
Here's Garcia. Back to him. Flags up. A little two-man game there between Garcia and Rosales, but to no avail. He's just over the line of offside. Possession goes back to United.
It was fun at halftime, Chris, visiting with Simon Date, the new executive director, and hearing how he's, what he's feeling good about, and some of the initiatives that he's brought on. All that, I think, speaks well to the future of the organization. But also, they've got a number of really solid clubs. There used to be a time when there was like one or two clubs that they'd be playing together all day on this day in finals. But now, we've seen I think 4 different clubs playing in championship games here. And I was talking off camera about how impressive PDX United in terms of growing their infrastructure and overall what they've been doing. But CFC also down in Salem has been phenomenal. Their executive director, Colin Box, has been brilliant in terms of the vision he has in growing the club. They got an amazing complex out in the East Salem with turf fields, lights, and I think it's 12 grass fields total. And that's from decades of work from a bunch of people down there. And so it's nice to see them get a team right here in the final. It rewards work of a lot of people have done over the decades down there.
Yeah, that's a great point. We're not seeing 1 or 2 clubs just dominate across the age classifications. We're seeing a lot of different clubs representing here and winning games. And it's a testament to the balance and depth of players and professional organizations that we now have in the state of Oregon.
Hey, let's keep touching. Let's go.
Garcia trying to work it up the side, knocked out by United. He'll have a throw in. Coelho sent to the turf, whistle, foul, and that's against CFC.
Hey, let's go, kids.
About 18 minutes to go. Not counting extra time, of course. The added time down the stretch, but we're right at the 27-minute mark here in half number 2. This is Perez. Going to get rid of it off the pressure defense, but draws a whistle and a foul against United. Ball to Rosales. Pokes it and plays it back down. All the way back to Orozco. United applying some pressure. Rosales getting rid of it. Towards Leedy and Sepulveda. It's a nice battle there, and Leedy drops it back. Now back to him. Again, going back for Mogul. Both teams exhibiting some more patience, keeping the ball at their feet a little more, trying to work it around. Christensen applying pressure all the way back to Grayson Lamb. It's Lucas Coles out of Wells High School threading a ball through, headed over the top. Dangerous ball, getting all the way down for Sandino Taylor in the 18. Looking to cross it in. Well defended. Now it's Coelho. Back to Salih, crosses in. It's loose near Gasperson, but CFC able to handle it. Leedy all the way outside. Rigaldo Chavez lobs it in and Orozco handles it. Ball up to Christensen, fighting with Mogul, trying to get to this ball. Well done. Cruz Mogul and a Clackamas having a tough task of having to go toe-to-toe with Christensen there. Been a great matchup between those two today.
Yeah, absolutely, and he did super well right there, stride for stride with Reese, and played it out of touch to make sure he got some friends to come back behind the ball with him.
There's a sub coming in for United. It's Vidican who replaces Jet Douglas. Vidican was the starter. Douglas providing some really good minutes for United. He's back to the bench for right now.
So this is a nice final, Chris. I mean, it's 1-1, all to play for, so you'd expect the kids to keep focused and keep playing the way they've been playing. But both teams to keep their structure and keep their offensive ideas the same as they try to break each other down. It's a high-quality game.
It is. This has been some terrific soccer. And the cross attempt in, deflected away. Here's a corner opportunity for CFC. Goal in the first half came on a long ball over the top to Christensen. He got behind the defense. United's goal coming on a PK. See if CFC can score off a corner kick here. We're in the final third of this second half. Played in, across, deflected, it went in! Unbelievable!
I believe the referee is disallowed.
He is. No goal.
Yeah, the keeper probably should have punched the ball and done a little better with that. But I think I believe the official is saying he was interfered with,
Yes.
which is why to be honest, he didn't do so well with the ball, but probably because somebody was knocking him down or knocking into him.
Yeah, good call, Tony. That was the official call, pointing to the goalkeeper. Basically the entire CFC team surrounding around the referee, asking what happened there, and he was kind of pointing towards the goalie, describing that there was interference there. So we stay at a 1-1 game instead of off that corner. CFC taking a 2-1 lead. Now United will get a free kick in the final third.
We are getting at the point in the game where the referee is under deeper scrutiny.
Yes. This is where it's not fun to be a ref. Played into the box, had it away. Handled well by the CFC defensive back line there. Perez trying to get after it. Now the ball forward to Christensen in full stride. Lamb the keeper. Christensen, oh, he missed it wide.
That was a great ball played forward for Reese.
Uh-oh. I'm shoving after the whistle here. And a yellow card given.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I did see after Reese didn't quite get it on frame, getting mocked by a couple of the players on PDX. So the CFC player was going to go stand up for his buddy, and he gets the yellow card.
I was going to say that Sepulveda gets the yellow card, but it was Grayson Lamb and multiple United players that were essentially taunting Christensen.
Oh, no, he's given a second yellow. He's given a red to Sepulveda, I think.
Oh, goodness.
It will be something that he said that the referee didn't appreciate.
Yep.
And I think Coach Kagi is getting an explanation, the CFC coach, of why his player's been red carded.
So Diego Sepulveda has been red carded, and he will go off the pitch. And in a dramatic 1-1 game here, CFC will have to play down a man.
Yeah, CFC, they're going to feel hard done by because the goal that was taken away, they want to be arguing about that because that could have been non-called, but it was. And then 2 yellows off of conversations after a play is going to be really tough for them to abide by because he said that some of the PDX players were just as verbal.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot that we can't hear up here, and there's stuff that we can only see, but from what we saw, it certainly looked like both teams were involved in extracurriculars after the play was over. And unfortunately on the play, it is CFC and Sepulveda who likely said something that was over the line, getting that second yellow card, and now CFC will have to try and win this State Cup final down a player. It's not an easy job being a referee, Tony. You got to deal with people's emotions.
Absolutely. And it is one of those where the game had been fairly clean and escalated fast.
Now, we talked about this in the first half as we were saying, well, this has been a clean game, not a lot of fouls, but we knew the longer this game is close, the more it was going to ramp up. And it has done just that. Kind of sorting things out here.
Yeah, so our center official is he had to confer with his assistant over on the far side, then come back and bring another message to, I believe it was a 4th, even though he's not in uniform. I think it's a 4th official or an on-field marshal. That's explaining the situation to the CFC coaching staff. I was going to make note early on the battle that Sepulveda was in. He was tracking on PDX's single pivot number 6. You know, it was making it real hard for them to play out of the back through him because he was almost man marking him and doing very well. And so the moments that CFC did have a chance to get forward and look dangerous was off of some of the work he was doing off of pestering their number 6.
Yeah, that's Sam Leedy for United, number 6. And so Sepulveda, to that point there, of all players to lose, is not an ideal player to have to walk off the pitch right now.
Yeah. Thanks for helping with the name. I think the reality is going to be, I guess both teams are going to be called to their bench to try to settle things down, I guess. But tactically, CFC is probably going to have to play with Christensen up top alone and drop somebody else in the midfield.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of a opportunity for the referees to make sure they're all on the same page, and for, like you said, that kind of a decompression opportunity for all the players. Mamadou Danso, the head coach for the Timbers. Tim Kagi, the head coach for CFC. And we're setting up for a real dramatic finish here. There's about roughly the 32-minute mark in the second half is when we had a full-on stoppage here after the dramatic play.
Yeah, I think when the head official conferred with the assistants on that far side, we're probably conferring with some of the fans on that side. The coach from PDX is walking over there to talk to some parents.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like.
Fans are being told to, I'm guessing, change their conduct. Probably some things being yelled and said from the stands.
Yeah, this is the dreaded coach's walk of shame, where he's got to go over and tell one of his parents to leave. And I think that's what just happened here.
Mm. Did you have to do that in your career?
A true story. One of the parents I was starting to walk over there was a player I'd coached.
So that made it easier.
When he was a university player,
yeah.
and I took 2 steps over there and he just waved and walked away. So he knew he deserved
yeah.
what the referee
Well, he also
was
respected
serving.
your authority. You were going to go into coach mode and say, hey, get out.
Yeah, yeah. So mine was a 2-step walk, and then I was able to turn around.
Yeah. Well, this one not as easy. There'd be a full walk all the way over there, and somebody has left. There's a gentleman who is climbing the fence and exiting the premises as he was requested to. So some drama here. There's a lot on the line. It's a chance at regionals here in a state cup championship.
Absolutely. But it just dawns on me, it's a parent of the team that I think has benefited from what's going on in the field. The PDX has got a man advantage. Just had a goal scored against him that was taken away. So he's got some emotion brewing to get sent out of here. It does look like we're close to restarting, though.
Yeah. So you're saying that's a United fan? That's a CFC fan.
Well, I think it's United because the United coach that walked over there to speak to him. So, so that makes me think it's a PDX parent or fan.
So CFC loses a player, United loses a fan, and now
1-1, like all to play for.
That's right. I think we're ready to play on. It's a 1-1 game here. There's still right at about the 32-minute mark here in the second half. Again, an overtime period is not golden goal. It'd be 2 15-minute periods before potential PKs.
Hey, Chris, we've been talking about Sepulveda being the one sent off, but he's back out there.
Oh.
So I do not know the player who was sent off.
Yeah, we'll try and see if we can get in a proper identification on exactly which player that is. I think I'm seeing that as Alessandro Perez.
Okay. Yeah, apologies to the
Sepulveda, that's right.
family.
Sepulveda's saying, hey, I didn't do anything. So it's not Sepulveda. He's still out there.
And he continues to be able to play out there and have the impact, good impact he's had on the game. I think Reese, hopefully he's in good shape. So I think he's just going to be chasing long balls for the last little bit, and if they go to overtime, I think they're just going to be pumping balls and letting him try to run them down.
No, Tony, I think that it was Sepulveda. 20 is off the pitch. 10 Perez is still out there.
Oh, okay.
So that was Sepulveda. Yes. Diego Sepulveda Cruz was sent off with a couple cards there. So they are without Sepulveda and his impact here down the stretch. Apologies to Alessandro Perez. He's still out on the pitch. There's a long ball high in the box. A good ball. Bounces and into the grasp of Lamb. Quickly firing it up to Salih.
He had to strike that ball really hard because he's hitting that into a wind, and it just kept carrying over the back two center backs.
Nice battle there by Emilio Revuzu Gonzalez. Here's Leedy. Working it forward from the midfield. Drops it off the left side. Ronaldo Sanchez off his left foot. Deflected down, cleared away by CFC. Revuzu. Still able to get by him. Coelho, a little bit of a heavy touch. All the way up to Rigaldo Chavez. Vidican back to Rigaldo Chavez. Nice play. Well defended there by Zepeda. Trying to get it forward to Christensen. Great job again by Cruz Mogul. He knows it's a disaster if Christensen can get by him, and he is holding strong there against the star 9 for CFC. This ball forward,
nice
just over the top of Sandino Taylor. The goal for CFC coming from Reese Christensen in the first half. United's goal coming early in the second on a PK by Derek Coelho. And he's got the ball now near the halfway line. Lob it forward, nobody there. And Orozco lets it go over the end line. Gasperson gets ahead on it. So lead down to Vidican, working it back to his left. Leedy's pass, a little bit off target, but Coelho tracked it down. We're at about the 37-minute mark here in the second half. So probably about 11 minutes or so to go here, total game time in this second half. Overtime could be on the horizon here in a 1-1 game.
So as the game's found its new rhythm with CFC down a player, Sam Leedy here on the balls is the one that's he's got a whole lot more time in space, and so he'll be the one that's kind of trying to find out how PDX wants to attack and break down CFC as they've had to settle into a little bit of a low block or a bunker. And sometimes when he's got that much time and space, you start overthinking things as opposed to just playing something quick through the line. But then that's a whole lot easier said than done because CFC's got 7 guys behind the ball, 8 guys behind the ball now.
There's Perez. Out of playoff United, the quick throw in. Leedy comes flying in for it though. CFC still playing down a player. There's a right-footed strike deflected back. Lamousse trying to make some noise there with a big-time shot here in the closing minutes. Boy down for Gasperson. And there it is. We're going to overtime here. We're through full time. And what has been a dramatic game, CFC trying to battle down a player and get a dramatic overtime victory. What a way to finish off the day. Here in the boys U16 State Cup Final, we go to extra time.
I seem to recall CFC hasn't subbed as much as PDX this afternoon, and so I've been playing a player down, playing another 30 minutes with less subs having come in. That might have an impact on how this overtime looks. But I also noticed as they did settle in playing with 10 players, they're really comfortable in playing in that low block and absorbing pressure. Yeah, it's unfortunate for them. They're limited in what they can do as far as a counterattack.
Yeah, we'll see if fatigue becomes an issue for this CFC team that doesn't have maybe quite as much depth in terms of how deep they want to go with their rotation. Haven't made as many subs today. And they're down a player. So it's got to be more difficult to build an attack when you're down a player as well. You almost feel like, do you think CFC is better off here surviving until going to PKs?
Well, to be honest, that's probably their mentality, is to hold off and be comfortable, not unhappy going to penalty kicks. And but at the same time, really impressed with Christian Reese and what he's able to do. Not only just running over the top and running balls down, but he's checked in and got the ball into his feet and turned. And so I think they're comfortable doing that, knowing that their best chance is knocking the ball over the top and letting Reese run onto it. While at the same time, the challenge for PDX is kind of figuring out how they're going to break down this bunker. And again, it typically comes to somebody running against that low block, just running through, and they got the players that have done that, or simply hit a ball from way outside the box.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you're down a player, but as long as you have Christensen, you've got a chance at scoring if you can get him free. And they've had success, those long balls over the top. That no matter what happens, that United backline defensively is going to be tested. It's been a dramatic, emotional affair here in this game. There's been some contentious calls and emotional reactions, and a player sent off, and a fan sent off, bringing us to this point with a chance in the regional tournament on the line. State Cup Final trophy, a championship as well. Not bad.
So you're right saying that the player was sent off, parent, and you got to assume rightfully so on both counts. But I have noticed that it hasn't been this constant stream of belly aching from parents or benches that they have let the game stay with the kids, which are the players, which is the proper thing to do.
Yeah, that's part of what caught me off guard too. As I was surprised is that the conduct of the fans that were in the immediate area of. Everybody's been very polite, respectful, and mature, I guess you'd say, about everything. So I guess there was a little bit of a different vibe over there in that section of fans.
Yeah, well, there were some wild moments there with the goal taken away and that half break that Reese had that could have been a goal. Lots of nerves in that moment.
Yeah, it was a corner kick that bent in and got over the hand of Grayson Lamb, the keeper for United, and that was taken away. It was ruled that the keeper Lamb was interfered with, and that was in the last 15 minutes or so of the second half. That would have been the go-ahead goal and maybe won the game for CFC, and that set off some emotions, and the intense play continued as Christensen also had a really good opportunity to get a go-ahead goal. He wasn't able to finish, so a couple opportunities for CFC just slipped out of their grasp in the second half there. Capital Football Club will try and win this State Cup Final down a player. It is 2 overtime periods here, no golden goal, 2 15-minute periods. The short stoppage and rest in between the 2 periods. If we remain tied, we go to PKs. And the wind starting to kick up here too.
Yeah, it's kind of a cold wind,
It's
Chris.
getting cold.
I noticed first half Beaverton had the ball on his feet and was looking really quick and dangerous, and he came off the bench coming into out of the second half. He didn't start second half, and I haven't noticed him as much, but he is one of those players that could grab a ball and just run against this defense and try to break through the lines himself with basically was just trying to run right at goal himself to break down that shape that CFC back line is constructing.
And the referee is instructing the fans or spectators that were on the pitch between the regulation and overtime period to get off, so we were waiting for them to get back into the stands, and now we play overtime. 2 overtime periods. The leader at the end of these 2 15-minute periods wins. If it's tied, we go to penalty kicks, and here we go. United PDX and Capital Football Club playing for the U16 boys OYSA State Cup Championship here. This is Juan Vargas Bolanos who plays it over to Gasperson. He's being checked by Zepeda. Plays it back to Leedy. Leedy is given a lot more space to operate. As CFC is down a player, and there's no Diego Sepulveda, who was sent off with a red card late in the second half. Well defended. And here goes Zepeda. Trying to work it through the middle there. Boyer. Nice tackle, and here goes United the other way. But it goes all the way to Orozco, the keeper.
Yeah, no need for PDX to try to go quick counterattack and straight up the field. They have the opportunity to just kind of settle the game down, let the ball run around the field, and tire out CFC a bit if they could. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's a tactical deal, but we do have Reese on the bench for CFC. It could be. He's ran a whole lot for 90 minutes. That maybe bring him back in second half of overtime.
Trying to give Christensen a extended rest as he was able to rest in between the end of regulation and this overtime. And now he's given a chance to rest here for a few minutes to start OT. So they want a fresh Reese Christensen whenever he subs back in. Left-footed strike that goes high and wide. They came off the foot of Vidican and out of play. just getting going here in the first overtime period. In total, it's been about 10 minutes of soccer that CFC has survived playing down a player. There's Leedy. Dropped it back to Salid. Gasperson playing it out wide for Coelho. Leedy all the way down to Vargas. This is Mogul. Coelho lobs it in, and it's headed back by Miranda Sanchez. A slip, spin, nothing there for Lamuse. Vargas again. He launches a pass in, that's headed back. A whistle and the high kick, that's against United.
So United's able to keep the ball and comfortable playing the ball through CD and trying to figure out where they can probe and get an opportunity to score. But it's a bit frustrating. They're just settling for those diagonal balls, which CFC is having no problems dealing with. I'd like to see him play into feet around the D and maybe get some runs through those interior channels and play some quick 1-2 through the middle of the field as opposed to just launching those diagonals, those longer diagonal balls.
CFC's got the ball here in the final third. It's a throw in from Staffland. Work down to Perez. Trying to cross it in, deflected away. And here's a corner for Capital Football Club. It will be Perez to take it.
Team playing down a player. This is one of those great chances that coaches are hopeful of when they get a chance to have a corner kick.
It's tough to even muster these down a player, and they get a big shot here, but the ball just too much on it. Sails over the crowd, and a goal kick back to United. So a missed opportunity there for CFC. Left-footed shot, rocketed off of Stafflin. It gets to the feet of Salih. His shot is...
It's in.
It's in. A goal for United. Ayad Salih. A rocket. Just gets over the goal line. Orozco got his hands on it, but too much power on that ball getting through.
Yeah, that is tough. Chris has had such a great game up to that point. He got his hands on it cleanly, but it did slip through. And unfortunately, on a game like this, you hope it's from a brilliant play that wins the game as opposed to maybe something that the player's going to regret or a mistake.
Salih puts United up 2-1 here in the first overtime period.
But it did come as I was hopeful of Viticus taking a run, getting a whack that would have been on frame, and it popped loose for the goal scorer on the follow-up.
And now CFC will have to answer down a goal. About 20 basically 19 minutes of game time left. Actually more than that, about 23 minutes left of game time, counting the second overtime period.
That's a nice effort.
Yeah. Cleared over by Coles, but a pretty deep throw in here for CFC. Vizu Gonzalez trying to break through, but Salih able to come away with it.
Hey, let's keep working, CFC. Let's go.
Vidican works it down to Sandino Taylor. To Vargas. Vargas crosses into a crowd. Can't finish it. Streaking in. That was Lamuse, and he just couldn't tap it in. Trying to go to the right side.
That was well played. The timing of the run of the player overlapping. Traditional old school counter. We did get Reese back in right after that goal was scored. Coach has put him back in.
And Christensen's in there fresh after his rest. Trying to come in and provide that offensive spark they need. We're over the halfway point of this first overtime period. Sub in, Ryder Allen coming in for Boyer. Gasperson turns. Battling for possession, goes over the sideline, and a throw in for CFC.
Yeah, CFC continued to defend well 1v1, so I think the referee actually called a pushing foul on the United forward.
There's about 5 minutes to go here in this first overtime. To the feet of Allen, playing it forward. Christensen trying to sprint down the sideline. Mogul there meets him. Christensen battling for it. Gets to Lamb. It's a 2-1 lead for United. Salih getting the goal here in overtime. Was a foul, little push called against Lopez. It was 1-0 in favor of CFC at the half. Christensen getting the goal in that first half. Since then, it's been United to get the PK goal from Coelho, and then in the second half, and then now in overtime, it's Salih picked up the goal. Some great opportunities for goals for CFC in that second half. They had a goal that was waved off on a corner kick that got past Lamb and into the net. And they had a Reese Christensen who had a really good opportunity to score. It just went a little bit wide.
So PDX is trying to properly kill the game off and doing a good job. I think Coach, when Vidicus just gave the ball away so easily a little bit ago, is not going to be pleased with that. But he's coaching him up from the sideline, helping him in terms of how to kill this game off and how to just play. And it's going to be awful tough for CFC being down a player. That just feels like PDX just can keep the ball in their back half and just play nice and easy and run the clock out.
Yeah, these are such young players. The U16 State Cup Final here, 9th and 10th graders. So if there's any game we could see some mental errors and open the door for CFC, when you get a group of young players, you never know.
That is true. And on cue,
We're right.
somebody kicks it right out of bounds with no pressure.
Oh, missed opportunity there for CFC. They come sliding in. And that's going to draw a card on Christensen, who's pushing from behind.
Yeah, we're getting the two-footed tackles and now the cramps. It does feel like it's that part of overtime.
Right.
And you do worry about an injury, because I think the statistics show that these are the times where you do get some injuries. So hopefully kids will stay settled down, players will stay settled down, and we'll finish this off with everyone walking off the field.
Now approaching the end of this first overtime period with United up a goal. Still another 15-minute OT after this. CFC will have to try and do down a player. They'll have the chance to kind of rest between these OT periods. And then just let it fly to close it out and try and equalize the game. As Vidican drops it all the way back to Mogul. United just working the ball around, exhibiting patience, and there's the end of the first overtime period. 2-1 the score. United currently on top of CFC. These teams will have a chance at a short break here in between the overtime periods, and Capital Football Club will try and overcome the fatigue and get a goal in. I mean, you could see the fatigue from both teams. This has been one of those games. Really, neither team has done a ton of subbing, but especially CFC. You got to wonder if fatigue is going to be a factor here for the final 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I think Coach Cake, he's going to figure it out. He's going to have to commit more players forward to try to press the ball off of PDX, because PDX have demonstrated that they're able to kill this game off, and they're going to do so unless CFC changes some things up. And so after if they do, and after they do start committing players forward, it'll be interesting to see if PDX can go ahead and play through that and get that third goal.
Yeah, the Capital Football Club trying to get over the hump and get a win here. This is a United team that has been pretty dominant in this tournament. They were able to beat Eugene Metro 9-0 and then Westside Metro's 4-1. So give some credit to CFC and Christian Orozco, the keeper, holding this United team to 2 goals so far. CFC with a 3-0 win over EST, and then a scoreless game went to PKs against ADF Portland, and it was a dominant PK performance by CFC in that game. Beat them 3-0 on PKs. So if Capital Football Club can somehow get this game into penalty kicks, they've already shown how good they are in these situations with their performance against ADF Portland in the semifinals back on April 28th.
Yeah, and on that first goal for PDX, that was a penalty kick. Christian Orozco, he got down to it. He got a hand on it. So if they do get to penalty kicks, having experienced it once already last weekend, and having Christian back there, might give them some hope.
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to pull something pretty magical to get a goal. The way that PDX is playing at this point, but being the up man.
Well, you're down a goal and you're down a player if you're CFC. So what's the strategy here as a coach that you would do to kind of put all hands on deck to get a goal?
Well, you got to just put more players forward. You got to put somebody to mark on CD number 6, because he's the one that is kind of calming things down. And just hope that they don't take advantage of the spaces you're leaving open behind you as you do put players forward. And it's not just also putting players forward to take space away. If you're going to pump a ball over the top to Christensen, you need somebody there to collect that second ball that gets knocked back in the midfield, which just means you just got to commit more bodies forward and hope they don't take advantage of the space behind then. And my hunch is CFC has experienced that before. These kids, they've all played enough soccer that they're going to have seen this before, playing with one man down. And sometimes it's not because a player misbehaved and got sent off, it's because only 10 show up. And that's kind of the nature of a winter play. and at times you are playing with 10 players for the whole game.
So nothing out of the ordinary for these teams to handle. It's unfortunately Capital Football Club who has to deal with being down a player due to a red card here in this State Cup final. Here we go.
Let's go, CFC.
Second 15-minute overtime period underway here at Tualatin Hills Rec Center. Capping off what's been a long, great day of soccer. 4th state championship game of the day. Coming down to the wire. The first overtime game is our final. Launching it forward, trying to get it to Christensen, headed down off Coelho. Gasperson sneaks in and comes away with it for United. Ooh, big shoulder check there. Omar Sanchez Rendon. It's kind of checked there by Gasperson to no call. And a throw in for United. The goals from Derek Coelho and Ayed Salih for United. Reese Christensen the goal for Capital Football Club. United left to, they would feel like, great opportunities on the board in that first half by great saves by Christian Orozco. And they might need some more of his great saves here in this second overtime period, and maybe if they can get it to PKs, to lean on him again. CFC trying to get bodies forward and make something happen here in the closing. Still 13 minutes to go in this OT. Lincoln Weiler battling with Allen, straddling down the sideline. There's a whistle. And the referee reaching for a card, and he pulls out the yellow. That's on Lincoln Weiler.
Yeah, not so sure Weiler needed to be running upfield like that. He could have just kept on playing the ball back and played for possession. But also astutely, once he got himself in the trouble up there, he just got a whistle, took some time off the clock, and got his name in the book.
Yep. Emilio Rizu Gonzalez, the victim of that foul there. He's shaken up for a little bit, but now he's up and okay.
And again, these players, again, they're 9th and 10th graders. You expect a little bit of decision making to go sideways, but the second overtime, there's already been 3 fouls called against PDX, but they've all been way far away from their own goal, so there's never going to be a ball pumped into their box off of it. So they're just kind of chopping the game up by getting stoppages and possessing the ball.
Salih possessing it now. Coelho.
He's in.
Oh, flags up. Just offside, I guess. Sandino Taylor not able to stay on.
My eyes are going on. Yeah, I thought for sure he was onside.
Boy, what an opportunity that would have been for Xavi Sandino Taylor. Try and give United some cushion. They've got a 2-1 lead at the moment. Miranda Sanchez with a high long ball off the head of Christensen. Weiler sending it back down the other way.
Ball watching Emilio, come on.
Weiler threading a nice ball down to Coelho. Not able to get there.
A little bit of fatigue maybe, so he couldn't catch on that ball. It was a nice ball. Viticus has come back for me here in terms of being an important player in the game.
Adrian Vidican, midfielder from Westside Christian. But a really nice match and tournament overall for this PDX team. Christensen off on the right side, going over to Elijah Vergara. Back up to Christensen forward, and nothing there. It goes all the way to the hands of Grayson Lamb.
Yes, Elijah!
Here's Rosales. Stops and drops it back. Vizu trying to get it over to Lopez.
Stay on him.
There's a whistle and a foul. Coelho sent to the deck by Rosales.
PDX is doing well, keeping control of the ball, keeping it in possession. Even if they're getting themselves played into tight spaces, they're so comfortable on the ball.
They sub in Trey Ortman as they try and maintain possession here with 8:25 and counting to go here in this overtime period. And potentially the game if CFC can't get a goal in to force PKs. CFC battling being down a player, battling fatigue. Of course, both teams are trying to find a way to muster a goal. They had some chances, regulation and overtime. Getting into the final third, they had a corner kick as well. Just haven't been able to get it by Grayson Lamb in this back line defensively. Christensen with no whistle, fighting in the box. Working it to his right, defenders converge. Christensen, down he goes. There's a whistle and a foul.
Let's go!
That's on Ayad Salih.
That's the cord!
Yeah, that was a good battle there. And now this is some hope for CFC getting the ball, getting a restart in the box, and get a chance to get it up for Reese to latch on to.
You got to think Christensen is a target of this free kick with his height. Tallest player out there. One of the most athletic as well. He's jostling for position near the net. It's Roman Stafflin to take this crucial free kick in overtime with CFC down a goal. Just over the halfway point of this second overtime period. Stafflin sends it in, into the grasp of Lamb. Looking to put it on frame there. Lamb was ready for it. Gasperson showing the speed, tracking this one down for PDX. Wow, a lot of contact there. A whistle and a foul.
That's for a yellow, ref. Come on now.
So well done defensively, and it kind of some frustrations came out there from Gasperson.
Yeah, I mean, he showed his speed and his fitness, getting that run going. But again, CFC with a 1v1 defense ran him off the ball well. Not so sure why he got so frustrated. He did well to put the pressure down there.
He killed some time too. Precious seconds. About 6 minutes to go here. And there's a sub coming in for United. It'll be Lewis Rummery. He'll come in for Gasperson. Cleared out of play, and now about 5 minutes left. CFC really starting to run out of time. They're going to need to make something happen quickly. Likely only about a handful of opportunities remaining, assuming United takes care of the ball well. Reversing all the way to Vargas and out of play.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's a great ball. A great way to change position of the field. Point of attack if they want to attack. But I think players are pretty tired right now. Just didn't get a chance to run onto that.
Christensen trying to get a touch on it. Sprinting after it. Big collision there and a foul. Weiler slamming the turf as Christensen hit him.
That's straight body, dude. Come on now. How many times you got to let those go now? Come on now. Seriously, dude. His arm is down. Seriously, dude. His arm was always down, bruh.
So United comes out of that play with possession. It was just a play looked like Christensen was trying to sprint after the ball. Hopefully Weiler's okay. Took a big hit there.
Yeah, he's just trying to track him down, run the ball off him. Got the delay. It was unfortunate because the ball got deflected by his own player, but he did run him over for the foul. A great first touch. Nice effort.
CFC trying to desperately find the energy here to get possession and get a shot that can challenge the keeper. United with a really nice ball to send it all the way down. Kill some more time. About 3 minutes left. Only the referee knows exactly how many time is left. How much time is left, I should say.
Got some cramping going on back over here.
Yeah. Deep into the second overtime period. It's Ayad Salih who's got the go-ahead goal that's down and cramping.
This second half, it has been discouraging for CFC, but that's because of the PDX and the way they're being able to keep the ball. Beaverton and CD both just they're still clean on the ball. They're taking the ball down and keeping possession and spraying it around, and then that becomes even more discouraging for the team in red as they're trying to chase down a last-minute goal.
Beaverton and Leedy, those two mids, doing a great job for PDX in this game. Salih, the pain of those cramps, will walk off. And he'll be replaced by Liam Seal. Roscoe gives it a ride down the pitch. Bounce off Vergara. And cleared over the sideline. Wedges in the bleachers there. And it is pretty stuck in there before Sanchez is able to rip it away. About a minute to go here. CFC running out of time. It's a handball.
Yeah, it's so close to that now. The game is maybe coming apart a little bit in terms of kids just trying to bang it upfield, both directions.
It's possession to CFC. And what could be their final chance here. And that's it. United PDX takes the U16 State Cup Final in a battle of a game that took overtime. It's Ayad Salih that gets the go-ahead goal in that first overtime period. CFC battling to the end. They were able to fight. They were down a player through some key moments in this game. It was a tough game to officiate, a tough game to play in, and ultimately it's just a narrow win for United PDX.
Yeah, I think you have to say deservedly so. It wouldn't have been a shocker to end up tying penalty kicks. What I'm appreciating is there was some intensity. There were some moments where teams were, or individuals maybe were in danger of losing the plot a little bit, but it's all over with now. The players are being respectful and congratulating one another, and that's for me a great way to end this beautiful game. Beautiful day.
That's
I say
right.
Beautiful. It's cold. It's rainy, but it's been
Yes.
a beautiful day out here. It's a great setting, and OYSA has done a great job today.
Yeah, why not have a windy, cloudy, rainy day on the championship day for the Oregon Youth Soccer Association, representative of playing soccer in Oregon? You got to deal with the elements all year. So I guess it's a good way to cap things off coming out of the Winter League, I suppose.
True. And at least one of these groups get to go think about going to Hawaii here in a few months.
Yes.
So good, and congratulations to PDX.
The champions coming out of this will go to regionals and play in Hawaii, and that includes United PDX, who get this win here today. Thanks for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat for our coverage. It started early on this morning. It's Seth Arinsky on the call. It's our entire crew. Thanks you for joining us. It's been a long day. We've had to deal with the elements, the wind and the rain. Our executive producer is Ryan Johnson. For Tony Vandermeer, I'm Chris Clayton. United PDX takes our final game of the day. Looking forward on Oregon Sports Beat. We've got plenty more coverage coming your way around the state in lacrosse and softball as well, as that'll be on Thursday. Central Catholic softball as they take on Sandy, before we look forward to more boys and girls lacrosse coverage, including the postseason coming up before we have some more soccer at the end of the month. Thanks for joining us from Tualatin Hills Rec Center for the 2024 Oregon Youth Soccer Association State Cup Finals.